Hello everyone, so my name is Kienow and I'm going to be your supervisor for this coming school year at University Housing. And everyone in this room right now has just been recently hired resident assistants here in Sandburg. And so today for training we're going to be going over Title IX. And a lot of you might not know what Title IX is, but that's why we're going to be going over it. So today for training we're going to be going over a brief overview of what Title IX is, how you as resident assistants are going to be reporting it, and then at the end, some situations. So Title IX is a federal civic rights law in the United States that was passed as a part of the Education Amendments of 1972. And as it states, it says, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participating in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance." UW-Milwaukee falls under that law. Now, UW-Milwaukee has Title IX coordinators to help investigate, train others, and ensure the protection for Title IX for students here. Now, Title IX, we're going to be talking about what qualifies and what doesn't qualify as a Title IX situation. And it prohibits sexual discrimination. Now, some of the sexual misconduct prohibited under Title IX and UW policies are dating or domestic violence, which is violence within dating or former dating relationships, sexual assault, which is unwanted touching, sexual harassment, which is unwanted gender-based comments or behavior, sexual violence, which is violent behavior that is sexually motivated, and stalking, which is continually unwanted contacts. These are all the dictionary definitions. Now, your role as a mandatory reporter, which is also known as a responsible employee, is required as a university housing employee in the Student Employee Handbook in the section "Student staff members agree to the following general expectations," states, "Attend required meetings, and within the first 30 days of employment must complete all required trainings, including Title IX." Now, you've all completed an online training for Title IX, and now this is your formal in-person training of Title IX, which I am conducting. And within your role of Title IX, you must report. And now the main section of our training today is going to be how to report in your role. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how to report up and not out. Reporting up and out, not out, obviously means reporting up in the roles, going up to your supervisors and your supervisor, and not out to your friends and coworkers. We don't want to be spreading these stories and these experiences that other people are having because they're very personal and not your stories to share. And the sooner the information is communicated, the faster action can be taken, because Title IX coordinators are under a time limit at times to investigate. And to report the situations, the email and phone number for the Title IX office is title9@uwm.edu, or you can call them at 414-229-7012. And if you need anything repeated, we will have time at the end for questions. And the university just want you, the resident assistants, to get more involved with the situation than you need to be, because these situations can be very difficult and you aren't getting paid enough to be more involved than you need to be. And we don't want you to make additional requirements on the victim before passing the report on to Title IX. Now I'm passing you all a diagram. Now, this diagram comes from the UWM Title IX website of where the report should be going on based on the university's relationship with the alleged victim. Because of who the alleged victim is, it'll go to a different office. If it's a UWM student, the report will go through the Dean of Students. But if it's a UWM employee, the report will go to the Office of Equity and Diversity Services. And now the conversation that you might have with a fellow employee, coworker, friend, but most commonly in your situation will be a resident. And they might come to you and say that they had an experience, and the first thing that you're going to want to tell them is that you are a mandatory reporter, and that anything that they do tell you, you will have to report. And in some cases, they will want to continue sharing after you disclose. Now, if they do continue, don't be judgmental of what they tell you, because you don't want to judge them and make them feel worse than they do. And it's encouraged that they share, but we don't want to push. And listen closely and avoid asking why questions of why didn't you do this, or why did you do this? We don't want to push too much and have them say something that they might not want to say. But sometimes someone might not want you to make a formal report. And in those cases, just listen and support them to the extent that you feel comfortable to. Make sure that they understand that you don't have a choice of whether or not you can report or not, because it is part of your responsibility as a resident assistant here. And then you can direct them to resources on campus and off campus that are confidential resources, who are people that if they do disclose to these people, they won't have to share to higher ups or Title IX. And some of these resources are counselors at Norris Health Center and off-campus options. Now, a few things to take away from this presentation. You are also protected under Title IX. Here at UWM, everyone that is a student here is protected. And you are a mandatory reporter. This is crucial to take away. It's the first thing you should be saying to a resident if they come to you in a difficult situation. And you have to know your resources, on campus, off campus, for you and for others. It's important for you to stay well and think about your own well-being, as well as thinking of your residents and others in these types of situations. And now we'll take a few minutes to go through a few situations, and you, my audience, will tell me the proper procedure. So, a resident comes to you and explains that she went to a party last night and feels like she got herself into a bad situation. What do?
You tell them that you are a mandatory reporter.
Correct. It's important that this is the first thing that you tell them.
Oh, Rip. I'm real late. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do you still need help?
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So sorry.
It's good.
I
Okay.
feel bad.
I'll edit that out in iMovie.
Can you save that part?
Can you send that part to us?
Cut. Start. Well, I hope you all took away something from today's presentation, and it's a very important topic that we discussed today. Title IX is something that you should all feel comfortable discussing and asking questions about. So if you do have any, you can feel free to stick around and ask me questions after. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo!
Oh my God, my butt is sweating.